guys, it's Anaya. Welcome back to my channel.
We're so divine with it. Change the game, switch up the roles, put the shine in it. And don't you be afraid of our ego. Welcome to the planet, this is our show.
So I heard you're going into freshman year and you're either nervous, you need some advice, or you just don't know what to expect. But lucky for you, I am going into my junior year of high school when school starts, meaning I'm an upcoming junior. And I remember freshman year almost like it was yesterday, so I feel like I'm kind of qualified to give you guys a little bit of advice. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below any other videos that you guys want to see. Okay, so the first tip that I have for any upcoming freshmen is to be yourself and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And I know you guys are probably like, Anaya, are you serious? Everybody says that. I already know that. But I feel like there's a difference between knowing something and actually applying it. And when it comes to being in a new school and being in a new environment, it can sometimes be hard to, just step out of your comfort zone. And for a lot of people, freshman year can be very intimidating and even cause you to be very self-conscious. But you have to remember that the same way it's your first day of high school, it's every other freshman's first day of high school too. And any nerves that you may be feeling, I promise you there are at least a couple other freshmen that feel the same way. And so something as simple as smiling at someone, introducing yourself, and just being a nice person can really go a long way, especially because everyone is trying to make new friends and everyone is trying to get acclimated to being at a new school. Now onto my next piece of advice, which is maintain your GPA. And I know y'all probably hear everyone saying this, like especially going into high school your first year, like everyone is going to tell you to keep your grades up. But a lot of people won't tell you why or how important it is to keep your grades up. And it is honestly so important because your GPA builds off of your freshman year. So the higher your GPA is freshman year, the better, because every year after that, you're just building upon that GPA. And then let's say, for example, you had a low GPA freshman year, it's going to be harder to get that up sophomore year, junior year, and senior year because those grades from freshman year are still in the grade book. So I definitely recommend keeping your grades up because when it is time for you to apply to colleges, I'm sure you're going to be so much less stressed out if you know that you have a GPA that you're happy with. But make sure to keep in mind that no one is perfect, so please do not stress out about like having the perfect GPA or like having the best GPA ever. Because although it is important to have high standards and to want the best for yourself, you also have to remember that you're human and you're bound to make mistakes. And as long as you learn from those mistakes and apply them later on, you're going to be just fine. While we're on the topic of grades, guys, please make sure that you are not procrastinating freshman year. Let's say, for example, you're in class and your teacher gives you an assignment or gives you some work that you have to get done. And they say, oh, it's due the next time you come to my class, but I'm giving you work time in class to do it now. Do it now. Because there is nothing worse than having time to do an assignment in class, but then not doing it in class because you're saying that you're going to do it at home, and then you get home and you don't do it. Because honestly, once you start doing that, you're going to build a habit of doing that, and the work is just going to pile up, and it's going to become too much later on. Which is why I definitely recommend just getting those assignments done when they're assigned, instead of waiting until later when the assignments have all piled up, and now you have that work to do plus your new work. So do your work in class, because if you don't, you're going to still have to do it eventually. And when you have to do it later, it's going to be with other assignments that you have to do now. Next, make sure that you are prioritizing your hygiene. And so what that means is make sure that you have a hygiene routine that works for you and that you are consistent with that routine. Also, having a signature scent can go a long way. For me, I like to use Vanilla Dream lotion and Vanilla Dream body mist, but whatever works for you, go for it. And finally, please respect your teachers. You never know when you might need a teacher to write you a letter of recommendation, or when you might need your teacher to tutor you and give you extra help on a lesson or an assignment. And so making sure that you respect your teachers and pay attention to their lessons can go a long way. But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.